This little thing right on the edge of the picture that you hear humming away, this is my personal pitcher that I've had for 6 or 8 years. I like to say that it's got some fused vertebrae in it because it's been so abused that I had to glue some of the parts together. But I think it still operates pretty well, maybe better than it was designed in some ways. It supposedly at this distance, and my plate behind me is about 15, 16 feet away from the point where the little wiffle ball is ejected. This is a golf ball sized wiffle ball. It's supposed to, personal pitcher is supposed to be giving you a reaction time of about a 88, 90 mile per hour fastball when it's, I think it said 20 or 24 feet away, somewhere like that. I've got this about 15 or 16 feet away. It's old, like me, and it's kind of worn down. It doesn't throw as fast as it used to, but still, 15 feet. I'm not giving myself much reaction time at all because my thinking is that if I can hit low line drives with as little reaction time as I'm giving myself at my age, I'm 65 and I'm in pretty good shape, but I've got probably a bit of arthritis and I don't have the eyes of a young man. Hey, if you're 15, 16, 18 and looking at this, then just think of what you should be able to do off of a pitcher in your grade, pitching 85, 90, maybe 90. You ought to be able to tear the hide off the ball. And I'm going to put these in increments of 4 because it pitches, I can't get the thing to slow down. It pitches pretty fast, and maybe between each round I can make a couple of comments. I'm using a bat here that's almost a yard long, so it's very much of an old school throwback bat. I hate this bat, not because of its length, but just because it doesn't feel right. It doesn't balance well to me. It's a Dale Murphy model, and it's really too thick or something for my hands. I don't have Dale's big hands. He could hold about 3 of my hands in one of his paws. But I think the point is that you can probably take almost any sort of bat and do the techniques that we talk about on smallballsuccess.com. Hand spreading, the parallel reverse motion of the hands. I'm going to try to do 2 swings this time around. Both of them involve creeping into the load with the back foot before you load up. I think I'll do some of my Ty Cobbs, I call this first of all, although Ty didn't move his back foot to load up. But everything else is pretty much Cobb. And hopefully I can get some low liners off of that. If that works, I'll show you something else. Now this machine is supposed to give me a green light when it's about to load the ball. And that would be like there it is. I got that pretty well. Oh, that was right past me. I'm going to back up a little bit. Yeah. That last one, the ball, those are old wiffle balls. Some of them kind of cracked, and so I get different speeds coming in at me. That last one, I was a little bit out in front of it, but what you do when you're trying to hit the ball up the middle, one of the good things about that is that if you get a little in front of the ball, then you pull it nice and hard. I'm not even trying to pull these. That's something that happens when I get a changeup. Now I really didn't hit anything to the other field. So I'm going to back up a little bit, just creep into it when the hand's right. There we go. Oh, I was all out of sync on that. That's too much to the other field. And that didn't fall fair either. band of gnats that decided to swarm around my head just when I was getting down to business there. I stay low, kind of creep into it with the back foot as the pitcher's hands break. There we come. Yeah, a little bit high up there, but that's a good hit. Boy, that was past me. You notice there, I got ready a little bit too early, but another one of these, the advantages of this old school swing, all you're doing in it, you know, you're not doing the Ted Williams swinging the hip and all that stuff. You're just lifting the front foot up so you can fall on it and come down into the ball. If the pitcher does a Johnny Cueto on me and he holds on to the ball for a little bit, all I have to do is tap my toe and come back up again, and I can recover my balance. And I think that's pretty cool. Now, for the next few, I'm gonna stand up more upright. I'm not gonna creep into the pitch, although I'm gonna keep the motion of the back foot. I'm gonna not so much sneak into it, it's just, this is gonna be a little bit of a hop. Now, we don't like this at small ball success necessarily, but I've decided, you know, you're gonna do this as the pitcher's hands are breaking, so it shouldn't really break up your line of sight to the ball at a significant point. And actually, you can hold your bat out here like some guy in an 1890s tobacco card. This is what they do. Then you give a little hop. See, my head, as I'm doing that, it's not like I'm really changing my level of sight very much. And everything else is going to be pretty much the same as what you just saw. My hands are going to stay in the middle of my body. They're not going to ride up above the letters. They're not going to ride back behind my rear shoulder, because I'm going to come down on my front foot, and that'll leave the hands behind so that the bottom hand especially can pull the bat down on the ball, and the top hand will drive it through. That's the theory. I haven't worked with this one very much. I think it's more of a pull swing. Let's see what happens. I wasn't ready for that. That was a good fastball. Whoa. That was hit hard. And that was hit hard. And that was fair, but it was, I topped it. I'm trying to hit these line drives by cutting through the center of the ball, but backspinning the ball just a little bit. Sometimes I'm gonna top spin it, like that one. That might have found its way through the right side for a base hit, but it's kind of like the shooting up the middle, and if you're early, it will go to right field or go to your pull field. When you're trying to hit under the ball, if you miss your mark a little bit and you top it, you still have a good chance maybe of finding a hole in the infield. Let me just try one more round. I really haven't done much with this swing in terms of experimentation. I'm going to try to back off a little more. See if I can go the other way. Oh, that was really in on me. Popped, but hit hard. That went the other way. I can't quit on that. I'm pulling most of these with this stroke. There's not much I can do about it, apparently. Get out of the way, Nat. It's loading. Ah! You didn't. I guess I'd better quit on that. This machine and I have had a war that's gone on for years. When it starts running, after a while, the green light is not an accurate indication of when it's going to throw. But, so I'll blame it for those last two. The guys in the 1890s, King Kelly, Dan Brouthers, Sam Thompson, some of those guys, I mean, that was a dead ball, right? That was a ball like a cantaloupe. But some of them, believe it or not, would hit balls over 400 feet. Now, they didn't hit 20 home runs a year. They were lucky to hit 10. But it was amazing that they could hit anything that far. And their stance was just like I was doing there toward the end. It was more upright, and they were probably pulling the ball most of the time. I like that swing for a younger hitter. I think it's a little less complicated than what I was calling the Cobb swing, where you have to sneak into it.